Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Kyle here from OG, and I just wanted to quickly run you guys through the rulebook. I know I personally wouldn't want to read through all 22 pages that we have worked on here, so I'm just going to basically take you guys through some of the most important features that you guys are going to need to know for this season. Most importantly, I want to start off talking about the code of conduct. Right off the bat, the league's not going to tolerate any of the following. The league will not tolerate any harassment of any kind, which includes antagonizing other members, trolling or baiting, abuse of any kind, which includes language, sexual orientation, or anything else, anything disruptive to the league sites or services, disruptive to the league or the league's integrity, impersonation of staff or management, player tampering, any attempts to circumvent league moderation or rules, and advertisement of unapproved websites, services, and or leagues unless granted written permission by myself or other league commissioners. As we move on, all members in the league are required to be in the Discord at all times, and also their username is required to match their PSN ID. The reason for this is to quickly identify players in the league in the event there's a trade or a waive, or they just need to be contacted for whatever reason. It is the quickest and easiest way to get a hold of everybody, so we ask that everyone stays in the Discord. General conduct stuff. One of the most important ones here: if any player feels that another member of the league is making their experience unenjoyable, that player should file a complaint in the Action Center, which is located in the Discord, and admins will take appropriate actions from there. That is Rule 1.2 under General Conduct. I'll talk about the league structure. So teams have a salary cap of $35 million. All teams must be under this salary cap at all game times. There are a total of 9 games per week in OG. There are 3 games on Tuesday, 3 games Wednesday, and 3 games on Thursday. Those game times are 8:30, 9:15, and also 10 p.m. The skater maximum for the week is 5 games. The goalie maximum per week is 6 games. And it's important to note that OG does use position lock. For the position lock here, we got if you sign up as a forward, you can play all the forward positions. If you sign up as a D, you can play both the defense spots. And obviously if you're a G, then the only spot you're eligible to play is goalie. The exception to this is that owners, GMs, team captains, and also alternate captains are not held to position lock rules. So this basically means that each team has 4 players that are able to play any position. Players are eligible for 1 position change per season. But it's important to note that their salary may change, it will change, and it will guaranteed be going up as a result of a position change. Regardless of what the position change is, the salary will be increasing, and depending on the situation, it could increase by a varying amount. Teams have to have a minimum requirement of at least 6 forwards, 4 defense, and 2 goalies on their roster at all times. Pre-game lobby, this one's important. So when searching for a game, a team can call forfeit by the 8th minute after the game time. So formerly this was 10-minute grace period. It is now 8 minutes. So for example, if the 8:30 game is not matched by 8:38, the team that is searching is able to screenshot and submit it for a forfeit win. So grace is only 8 minutes this season. Server selection, this one's important. Server selection must be set to any by both teams at all times. If a team does choose the server, they could be subject to a forfeit. Flagouts, familiar, or the same as everyone would be familiar with. Basically, if a player lags out, play out the period, and then pick them up at the end of the period, and continue play from the start of the new period. Compy goals still do not count in OG, so if a player lags out and the compy scores, that goal will not count. However, compy goals as a result of fights or penalties where the user is still actively in the game, those do count. Suspensions and appeals. There is a strike system this season, and players do have the ability to appeal those decisions. So if you're issued a suspension, a punishment, for whatever reason, you do have the option to appeal it, at which time your suspension could be shortened. It could also be lengthened depending on the situation. One rule people might not be aware of in OG is that we have a mercy rule. So if the spread in the game is more than 5 goals, the team that is losing is legally allowed to back out of the game anytime after the second intermission or in the second intermission if the score is more than 5. And in this scenario, just input the stats as a completed game for 2 periods. Playoffs this season, this is an exciting one. I'm happy to announce that there will be 24 teams that will be making the playoffs this season. So the top 4 teams in each conference will get a bye through the play-in round, and the bottom 8 teams in each conference will enter the play-in. The 4 teams that win on each side will advance to play the 4 teams that got the bye. But in summary, 24 teams will be making the playoffs this season. Playoff skater and goalie requirements are similar to what everyone is used to. Skaters can play any 2 of the first 4 games, 3 of the first 6, and anyone can play game 7. So basically it is a 2-line system for playoffs. So 1 line can play 4 games. Goalies max out at 5 games in the playoffs. They can play 3 of any of the first 4 games, and they can play 4 of any of the first 6, and any goalie can play game 7. These ones are important. So this is a strike system. So these are some no-goes for players, okay? So not giving your availability. Players that don't give their team managers their availability will be warned. Second offense, player will be suspended. And the third time, the player is now considered to be inactive, which is subject to facing a ban. Next one on this in this category is no showing to games or refusal to play. No showing to games when the player is scheduled to play a game after they have confirmed their availability and they do not show up. First time will be a warning, second time will be a suspension, and the third time the player will also be considered inactive, and as previously mentioned, could be subject to a ban. The last one I'll mention is quitting out of games. If a player is caught quitting out of a game, they are automatically suspended for a week. The second offense, this player is subject to a ban, and upon approval from the discipline department, the commissioners, and the director. If a player lags out or disconnects from the game, suspension will not be applied until it is investigated further. So that's an important one. Don't be quitting out of games for any reason. If you're losing, take it on the chin. One thing I'll mention is if a player plays over their max games and the opposing team submits an incident form in the action center, the game will be overturned, and the result will be a forfeit for the team that went over on max games. So very important, don't go over on your max games. There is a strike table as well, so you can see all the punishments in the rulebook. They are transparent for everybody. But before I end it off here, I just want to mention a couple of things. So weekly, the trade and the waiver window is going to open Friday at midnight. So that's Friday morning, 12 a.m. Trade and waiver window is going to open every week. On Sunday night, the trade window is going to close for that week. On Monday, at noon, the waiver window will then close for the week. And on Monday night, all the weekly auto assigns, the position changes, and the other admin tasks will process for the upcoming week. So that's all I have for you guys here. I hope you all enjoyed the video format of the OG rules here, and I'll catch you guys on the next video. Cheers.